Well, good morning again, or good day wherever you are. It's great to have you with us. This is Phil Amerson with the To Be and Do podcast, and this is a audio recording I have been looking forward to for quite a while. We're delighted to have my friend Ken Medema with us. I've known Ken for 3 months, but it feels like 50 years. Wait a minute.
Yeah, right.
I've
Okay,
known Ken
sure.
for 50 years, but it feels like 3
Feels like
months.
3 months. I
And
love it, Phil.
those of you who are listening, tuning in, need to know that Ken and I have been known to tease one another. So
Mercilessly. Mer-
if we get if we get too silly, well, just join us. Ken, for those for the few that maybe have never heard of Ken Medema, he is a remarkable artist, composer, recording artist, performer. Uh, he's a Renaissance man. I think he started in the 14th, 15th century.
Yeah, but
And
I've
I
slept.
have
I've slept since then.
a true Rip Van Medema story. So, Ken, tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days. I could try, but among all the not only your performance, but you're working with Broadway entertainers, you're
Yeah.
working with church musicians, you're working with pastors, you're working with. Tell us about what's going on in your world.
Well, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Number one, I'm a composer and performer, so I'm doing a lot of concerts in churches, in colleges, uh, concerts that are fundraisers for nonprofits. Uh, because we have a little foundation called Interlude that allows me to do that. In the past, I've worked for people like American Cancer Society and people like that. Right now, I'm doing a lot of concerts for organizations that are doing uh, justice work and mission work of various kinds, like in places like Kenya and Zambia. So there's a lot of concert work, whether it's in a big church. I was just recently in a big Presbyterian church outside of Memphis. I'm going to be uh, soon enough. I'm going to be in a big choir concert with 300 singers. So it's a lot of that stuff. And then my little foundation, it's called Interlude, and we we do several things. One of which is a kind of a house church for Broadway entertainers, actors, musicians, uh, dancers, whatever. These are people who many of them don't go to church or can't get to church or have been alienated by church, who have been cast out because they're too strange. Uh, but so we meet in a living room, a big old living room on West 82nd, that some friends of ours have, and we usually have 30 or 35 people, and we tell stories, we sing to each other, we hold each other in love. Um, I recently I recently had one of our friends who said, all my life I've been like an atheist, but heck, if church is going to feel like this, maybe I should give it a shot. And so that thing has been ongoing for a while. And usually when I'm in New York, then we also make a stop at the Bowery Rescue Mission uh, and sing for the people who are being fed and who are homeless and being helped by the mission. Um, Another thing I'm in the middle of is some retreats for church musicians who many of whom are overworked, underpaid, have cantankerous pastors to work with. Yeah, like Amerson. Uh,
You got me.
yeah, and we do a free of charge retreat in the summer, a 3-day retreat, and we do 2 retreats. We usually have about 30 people at these gatherings. And it's a time to talk, share, relax, rest, and renew. Uh, so these are plus one more thing. What I'm writing a lot of new choral music now. And
Great.
that's kind of exciting. And most of it is not necessarily church stuff, but it's a lot of justice stuff. We just we just wrote a song called uh, ah, what's the elegy for a glacier about the first
Oh, oh,
Icelandic glacier to die.
oh, wow.
We set to music some of the dissent that was written by Justice Sotomayor when the Supreme Court made that ruling, gave Trump a lot of immunity last what last year, and Sotomayor wrote this dissent. We set part of that to music. We just finished a song by a wonderful Black American poet who is the uh, immediate past poet laureate of Rock Hill, South Carolina, a piece called Cry Yourself a Freedom Song.
Oh,
So
wow.
a lot of that kind of work I'm doing right now. So I'm kind of keeping busy.
Wow, indeed. Well, and you're, some I don't know that I've shared with our audience, but, you're going to help me kick off a time with pastors from
We
inner
are.
city and rural settings. Many of them don't have many resources, and we're going to do a retreat, and we're learning from you and what you have been doing through Interlude and other places. We're doing that
Good.
next April.
Next April. I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to be, this will be a model. And if this works the way we think it will, then we want to do a lot of these here and there. And
Wow. So I met you, I think it was 1976 or 7 at Asbury Theological Seminary, and they said, we want you to speak, and after that, we've got a gospel music singer that's going to," and I thought, "Oh, great, that's all I need." So, I did my little, sermon, lecture, whatever it was, and I thought, "Oh, no, here comes the gospel music guy," and you went to the piano, and within 3 minutes, the front of my shirt was wet. I was weeping because you had taken my puny little sermon and turned it into, oh, a symphony of meaning. It was just a great experience.
now, people, let me just tell you, let me in on a little secret. Don't tell him I said this, but his sermon was number one, not puny, and number two, it was really quite beautiful.
Wow, you're kind. Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Mr. Medema.
All right.
So, I wanna tell you a story that happened to me just 2 days ago. I walked from my apartment, my condo, and we're like many college towns across the country, but especially in the Midwest, like Ann Arbor and Madison and
Yeah.
Urbana. There's a main street where there are a lot of restaurants. So I was walking to meet a friend from breakfast, and as I went by, there was a woman curled up in the doorway of a barber shop, and she had slept there, and she'd been sleeping on the streets for several nights. I knew her. I won't give you her real name, but we'll call her Emma. And Emma was asleep when I walked by, and then I had breakfast with a friend. And walking home back to my apartment, I saw Emma up. I knew she was struggling with some mental illness, and she was walking in circles, and her blankets were tossed over away from the door. And there was a man there, and I thought, "Oh no, this gentleman is hassling Emma, who lives on the streets." But as I got closer, I heard him, as he was turning to go in the store, say to her, "Would you like coffee or hot chocolate?" And my heart just melted, and I thought of, those passages in, Mark, 9 and Matthew 10, "If you give a cup even a cup of water. It's not just even a cup of water. Could be a gallon. Even a cup of water in my name. I'll be with you. And I thought people living on the street in cold Midwestern weather right now, I think to ask if they would like coffee or hot chocolate speaks volumes. So I give it to you, sir.
Oh, the people walk by, one after another. All the people walk by, and they never do notice. All the people walk by, and still I stand here in my confusion, frightened and wondering. All the people walk by, they've got so much to do. All the people walk by, and they won't notice me. And the people walk by, and that's when I saw you standing there, just about to go inside. And I thought to myself, one more people who just walks by, one more people who won't notice me, one more people who will go inside, and he'll get his breakfast, and he'll walk out happy, and he'll never know that I was, never know that I was, never know that I was here. That was the moment I did not expect. That was the moment that you turned to me. That was the moment when you looked in my eyes, and you noticed me. Oh my God, you noticed me. That was the moment when you opened your mouth. You said to me, would you like coffee or hot chocolate? I could not believe it. You were talking to me, and I said, coffee, please. That was the moment you walked inside, and you came outside with that cup of coffee. And I swear to you, I've never had a better cup of coffee in all my life.
Thank you. Thank you. I've always been amazed at the gifts that you bring, even for someone from Grand Rapids. You know, it's
You rascal, you. Oh,
I thought if you grew up in Calvinist country, you only learned 6 hymns and sang those over and over again.
yeah. And the another thing you learn is you're never supposed to enjoy anything. You you heard the story about the girl from Grand Rapids who came to Duke.
No.
And she was talking to Dean Willimon when he was still the dean there, the dean of the chapel. And she said, you know, Dr. Willimon, I just am not happy here. And I don't know what's wrong, but I just feel like something is missing. And Dr. Willimon said, well, little lady, where'd you come from? She said, well, I'm from Grand Rapids. He said, ah, that's the problem. You see, you're not getting enough total depravity because we kind of think you're getting better day by day.
Oh, so we've caught you. We're recording this the day before Halloween.
That's right. That's right.
So
And
go
well,
ahead.
actually, I'm going to. I leave tomorrow for Michigan.
Oh,
I'm going to be in the town of Holland, Michigan. There's a choral festival. I have a friend who's an organist who lost his arm in a terrible auto accident several years ago. And one of the things he's done is to start a foundation, and he does these huge choral festivals all over the country. We've done them in Los Angeles. We've done them up in Maine, all kinds of places. We're doing a choral festival in Holland, Michigan, and they're the choir of 300 singers. I can't believe it. Is performing a few of my pieces, and I'm going to get to go there and do some solos and be a part of that, which will be really really fun.
Well, that's
And then
great.
and then after that, we go to Dallas, where a church is doing a Ken Medema a choir festival, and two choirs are coming together in Dallas. So it's just one thing after another. It's just all
Yeah.
fun.
So I want to tell you something I read recently, and I thought of you, and it has stayed with me, especially around this podcast. And our emphasis is interconnection, not independence, but interdependence, and the linkage. By the way, that passage in Matthew begins with the followers, the apostles, the disciples, all being linked together. But here was what I read. It talked about the two holy moments when a choir is together or singing. One is that wonderful holy moment when they all take a breath together just before they sing.
Yes.
And it's like that's the time when they're aware they're going to make something beautiful together. And the other holy moment is when they have finished the music and they can breathe in knowing that together with others, they did something they could not have done alone.
And there's that wonderful silence at the very end, just before the audience begins to clap. Wonderful silence when the choir is like,
Wow.
"We did this.
Wow.
We did this." That's one of the reasons I'm so hot on choirs. And as churches are losing choirs, communities are taking up the mantle. Their community choirs are growing like crazy. People
Wow.
want to sing. They want to sing, and they want the community that arises from singing. They want to be
I'm
together.
beginning to see more and more of that in communities and also in churches that are going back to choirs.
Yep.
It's I won't mention the name of the church, but we have one in our area that had given up on choirs entirely, and now I'm watching every Sunday as they've gone from 7 or 8 people to 15 or 16 people to 30 to 35
Yes.
people, all singing together. And they sing, old traditional things mostly, but I've been watching as the choral director who understands what she is doing begins to introduce them to new music.
Little
It's
by
become
little,
lovely.
little by little.
Yep.
That's exciting to me, because what I've always said to choirs when I meet with them is you become a support group, and you are leading the church, and not just by doing music, but the rapport between you, the way you interact with each other. That is a leadership thing too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been terrific, Ken. I wish we will. We're going to do another recording. This is Ken Medema, my, 3-month-old, 50-year-old friend, and Phil Amerson for the Belonging Exchange, the Be and Do podcast. Thank you, Ken Medema.